Bay, ByuN, Solar, Maru, GuMiho. Africa TV, Freak Up Studio, Live, 2023, GSL Season 2.
Welcome back, everyone. GuMiho survives. He comes out on top. He is the first player in the round of 4, which leaves 3 players left, 2 Terrans and a Zerg. Now, Maru, he actually got knocked into the losers match by GuMiho. ByuN had a great series against Solar. I feel like Maru should be able to beat ByuN, but right now I feel like today is nothing but upsets, man.
It's been a lot of upsets, but GuMiho, his form is so good that I'm really not surprised he made it out of this group, let alone in first place. He just seems to have everybody's number in TVT and TVZ this time, but now we're kind of in this interesting situation where we have 2 of the best Terran players of all time, Maru and ByuN, fighting head-to-head in an elimination match. One of them is going home. One of them is going to advance to fight Solar for the chance to make it to the top 4. It should be pretty exciting, and these guys, of course, very good friends, Maru and ByuN, with them laughing and smiling. I'm sure they're chatting a bunch right now.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a flood of chat.
It is a lot of spamming in the chat. I mean, let's see what happens here. I'm kind of stunned that Maru lost, but, you know, this is going to happen from time to time. ByuN does seem to be in very good form. He does overheat, though. Maru a little bit more of a stable Terran, a little bit better at that balancing act. This should be a fun, explosive, back-and-forth TVT. Let's get into this one, guys, to see who gets knocked out first in the round of 8.
GSL Season 2. Onside Gaming, Maru. Shopify Rebellion, ByuN.
Let's see what openings these players decide to go for. Maru, of course, had a shaky opening match against GuMiho, going down 2-0 to open up his games for today. And I think that game he went for, at least in game 1, there was the 2 barracks play with Reapers. I feel like that's not kind of the playstyle you want to go for against somebody like ByuN.
I don't think so.
In fact, actually, this time it's ByuN going for that playstyle, the two Rex Reaper.
Yeah, it's funny. These guys are good friends. They're actually spamming back and forth to each other. No, you go to the round of 4. No, you go to the round of 4. But they've got a long history together. They know each other inside and out.
Even after Maru's matches earlier today, ByuN came over and, you know, consoled him a little bit on stage, and you could tell they were talking about the games and what went wrong, despite the fact that they're going to be playing the same matchup later today against each other in an elimination match, right? So, very close friends, these 2. And they should have a very good idea of exactly what their opponent has in terms of strengths, in terms of weaknesses overall in this matchup, which could lead to some pretty interesting situations. We'll see if we find ourselves in any kind of quirky circumstances, because of the metagaming can come when 2 devoted practice partners and good friends actually meet in a tournament in a high-stakes situation like this one.
It is funny to see ByuN, you know, again, Reapers, a little bit extra early on. And it's going to be Maru here with this first command center. So this should play into ByuN's hand here. I mean, if you're going to get extra Reapers and come in early, you want the command center to be on the low ground. You want to be able to kill that SCV and cause a lot of problems for whether or not that CC is going to finish.
Yeah, only the 1 Reaper here for Maru, so that SCV is going to try and run away. Should be able to get chased down by these Reapers, and indeed it does. Grenade does nick 1 of these Reapers, but Alien is out, and that should anchor the defense here for Maru.
All right, so he's got the 3 now.
More Reapers in production, by the way, a Hellion as well, before starting the command center for ByuN.
Yeah, it seems like he wants to try to build up even more pressure over here at the entrance. But I think this can be matched. I mean, it's a reactor with Reapers and Hellions coming out now. So it's not like he's going to have that much more. If a single Reaper is dropped early on, like exactly like that, I think that this rush is already dead. And now I think Maru's in just like really good shape, although that was pretty sick with that grenade.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to get out of this, though. As Maru's able to chase everything down. ByuN clearly not anticipating so many units coming out from Maru. And now ByuN is the one in danger with only 2 Reapers and 1 Hellion on the map. His command center is going on the low ground, and it only just now started. It's about halfway done. So there's potential here for Maru to actually delay the expansion for ByuN should he push this position. And you got to think he's going to. 2 Hellions coming up this ramp.
Oh,
nice angle for ByuN, though.
Really bad overextension here from Maru. I mean, you got to be ready for ByuN in a position like that. He's going to try to pounce on you. And so it does seem like what ByuN tried to set up kind of backfired over there. Really, Maru, I think, with a better handling and kind of a better build order overall. He did overextend when he tried to do the counterplay. By the way, ByuN's not done. I mean, he's still having units trail across the map. And we're going to see a similar situation where he's going to get intercepted immediately over here.
Yeah, the arc's really good for Maru on the high ground. As once these units drip down into the low ground, it becomes a little bit of a better fight here for ByuN, but still, especially with a Cyclone now joining forces here, it's going to be a tough position for ByuN to get too much value out. Spots the medevac. We'll be trying to go to the main base and maybe keep Maru back at home a little bit.
Yeah, the Cyclone comes out here, takes out 1 Reaper, leaving only 3 more left over here. Not getting a ton of kills here. So far, only 2, not even a third. SCV goes down. What a back and forth. But again, ByuN, he seems to be overextending. I mean, that was everything that he had. Yeah, you gotta worry about the counterpunch here from Maru after he's done defending all this.
Yeah, ByuN's got very little on the field right now. He's going for stim pack. He's producing Marines 3 at a time and building Cyclones back at home, but there should be a window for Maru to get something done. The question is, will ByuN be able to actually push him back from this natural expansion? I don't believe there's a bunker here at the expansion, and no, there is not. Scary position, especially here with the medevac. I mean, the dropship micro that you can do against a Cyclone is so effective. In fact, don't even need to do it as that Cyclone gets immediately taken out here by the forces of Maru.
Man,
and this is so many SCVs.
The tank is truly tanking here. I mean, so many SCVs are trying to heal this. The Cyclone's still alive. The SCVs are so low. The Reaper's still in the action. Oh my God.
Gonna get lifted up. So 11 SCVs falling for ByuN. On the backside, the Liberator was able to take out 6 of the mining SCVs there for Maru. So worker count still not too much of a discrepancy, but Maru does have that 3rd command center. ByuN still sitting just on 2 CCs. And with Maru also having arguably the better army on the ground right now too, and losing 1,000 less resources overall after all these trades. And the faster engineering base, I mean, everything is looking better for him.
Okay, gamer. Chill out, dude. I saw him kill off that Marine. It's got like no HP. He doesn't send it back to repair. He's like, I can get a little bit more damage out of this, and does exactly that. Damn, Maru.
That's clean play.
That was crazy.
I think importantly, Maru also confirmed there isn't a 3rd command center underway unless it's all the way tucked back in. So he's pretty confident now, or at least he should be, that ByuN is really focusing right now on the aggression.
Okay, so we have medevacs coming out to the north here. There is a Cyclone that could intercept this. We got to watch this very carefully. I mean, right now it is ByuN marginally behind, but you know, if you mix a couple more missteps, that could really start to add up.
I think it's 2 siege tanks in this medevac as well, right? Oh, but double Cyclone here.
You almost wonder if the Cyclone should be a little bit further back.
Yeah, I don't think you could drop this, especially with a medevac there for Maru. Means that you can have a little bit more sustain on vision, really utilize the range on the Cyclones. And now Raven's coming in. ByuN doesn't have very much at home to deal with this. There's a lot of energy saved up on these Ravens, so mining time going to be lost here for sure. And a lot of SCVs. Okay. All right, this is the play that ByuN needs to make happen to come back in this game. It's pretty much all or nothing with this drop, but the medevac falling to the missile turret here. Siege tank's going down on the right side. SCV's not pulled just yet. A lot of economic damage being done here to Maru.
You know, the drop
like,
is cleaned up.
Yeah. And ByuN did get a lot of damage done, but he lost so many units.
I didn't see that tank under that whole drop the whole time. They pull away, and I'm like, oh my god, he still has a tank there.
That was a good trade economically, because now ByuN actually has the worker lead, which is surprising considering how much more work the Ravens got done on his side of the map. But army supply-wise, about 20 supply lead right now for Maru.
Way down in tanks, too.
Yeah, 1 tank to 3.
You got to wonder if Maru's follow-up push may just topple him.
No Ravens either, and behind on upgrades. So there's a lot of things Maru has going for him tempo-wise that could be, I mean, any one of these things could be the straw that breaks the camel's back. Should push come to shove here and Maru go for a push at the third base of ByuN. Those Ravens, yes, they did use a lot of energy dropping turrets to the main base of ByuN, but by the time they move across the map again, there should be enough disables to handle the meager tank count that ByuN's been able to assemble.
Okay, he's going to move in now. Now, again, superior tank out is one thing, but then when you have Ravens to disable, you've got Cyclones to kind of, add even more complexity into the fight. And this is what you're going to get. And this may be, what this entire game has kind of led up to at this point in time is ultimately a Maru victory with that push. GG. Great game, though.
Yeah,
I mean, what an action-packed back-and-forth game. You got to love to see it.
Yeah, a lot of fighting, a lot of back and forth action, but ByuN overextending a couple of times there, and Maru, despite playing a much more macro-focused play, his third command center is faster, his engineering bays are way faster, he was still able to handle the defense back at home and still get damage done on ByuN's side of the map, and when all those things go right for you, eventually you are able to just push that advantage and straight up end the game as Maru did.
Yeah, it was a cool back and forth. ByuN, he overheats. He gets a little bit too aggro. I think he's one of those players, he looks like a genius when it works, but you look a little bit foolish when it doesn't. And Maru, I think, a little bit more patient, a little bit more calculated, kind of knows when to sidestep these and when to fully parry them. And here we are. We're going to go into game 2. Maru right now with a 1-0 lead.
2023 GSL Season 2. Onside Gaming, Maru. Shopify Rebellion, ByuN.
Truly a great set of games we've had today, and I don't think it's going to stop. ByuN going for a proxy Rex, it looks like.
Is there a second? No, I guess he's just going to send it all the way out. Yeah. I'm like, it also is Maru's Zerg. It's like, no, tasteless.
Hope the overboard doesn't spot the proxy rack tasteless.
What am I talking about? So here he goes. He's going to put that up here. And, one thing about Maru is that historically he proxy racks more than anybody. So I always feel like when you're the guy that cheeses the most, you also get to be best against the cheese because you know how it loses, what that looks like.
He has a lot of experience with this. Really, any kind of championship level Terran is going to be so good at proxy barracksing. It's kind of one of those situations where they have a ton of experience and can just leverage that knowledge in game. But Maru, he's going to scout the main base of ByuN, and he probably won't have that exact tell that this is coming in. We'll see. He actually is going to sacrifice the SCV coming into the main base, so. He should have an inkling, especially seeing that there isn't any factory behind this, there isn't like another command center. Those resources had to go somewhere, so of course it's going to be into another barrack. So at this point, Maru should know what is coming, especially scouting the double gas. Right. Something is proxied on the map. And Maru behind this back at home, he's playing very safe. He's not going for a command center, not even one on the high ground. He's just building a factory. And it looks like he might be sending another scouting SCV. I'm curious whether this SCV is actually going to scout or if he's going to go for a low ground CC. A low ground CC would be very brave.
So ByuN's basically doing the same build from the last game, but with a little bit of a twist. And the fact that he's hidden this, I mean, you might be thinking, like, is there a factory on the map? You know, is there maybe a star? So you're guessing a little bit more. But if you show the 2 Reapers now, then you would know. It's the same idea. So the question I'm asking myself is, okay, when do you show the Reapers?
I think you got to build up that count a little bit more here for ByuN. You might wait till 5, but with the Hellion scouting these 2 Reapers, the element of surprise is pretty much gone for ByuN, and with how safe that Maru's played, the Hellion with the Reapers synergizes so well. And okay, ByuN's just going to come up here into the main base, should be able to get the SCV building the command center at least, but chooses not to prioritize it at first.
Yeah, well, he went halfsies on it. He he decided to damage him, and therefore you leave a bruised Hellion, a bruised SCV, which in exchanges like this is really bad. You're going for kills always.
Yeah, and Maru's just playing this really smart. I think maybe even a little bit of metagaming coming in, knowing that ByuN is favoring the strategy here in TBT, because both Game 1 and Game 2, Maru opting to play very safe. Barracks in a factory before throwing down in the command center on the high ground means that these Reaper plays, even when one of the barracks is proxied, they can't get very much done. And so now Maru's going to have the much faster expansion than ByuN, even though it's on the high ground. It's got a little bit faster tech too, with ByuN only just now throwing down that starport. It's about, I guess, 3/4 of the way completed, but Maru's just really filling out his tech tree. He's very safe back at home.
Okay, so that CC's going to land. And we're going to get to this game where we want to kind of watch each of these interactions and how they square off. ByuN does seem to be kind of having some of these ByuN moments where he's just a little bit too aggro. He's a little bit too greedy. And Maru just calculated enough. It's a really good angle there.
Yeah, ByuN's sleeping a little bit on these Reapers.
Yeah, I mean, you can just see that Maru's able to find these opportunities. And, this adds up. I mean, the last game, it might have looked like it was very close. And then suddenly you see this push come out and it's like, oh, yeah, I guess really he lost everything.
Yeah, and behind all of that, keep in mind, last game, Maru kept going 1-up on ByuN. He would expand a little bit more quickly. He would get the engineering base a lot faster than his opponent. He would tech more quickly and get higher tech units overall. Keep in mind, he went for those double Ravens in that previous game. And so if you're able to do those things and also manage your defense, or at least manage your defense to the point where you can do counter damage onto your opponent's side of the map as Maru did in game number 1, that's just going to be a winning formula for you, especially in a mirror. And now with the section, like, oh, okay. For a moment, I thought both Cyclones might get away. Not a bad trade there for ByuN. A lot of damage on those units, but he is able to get the siege tank.
And again, another, excuse me. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, another exchange there. Not bad. But this game, again, Maru just going to try to get that third base up as quick as possible. We don't have any kind of a third CC here just yet.
That's kind of reminding me of the
ByuN
previous game of ByuN versus Maru, with Maru just being a little bit ahead, whether it be in tech, whether it be in expansions.
Yeah, I mean, they really are kind of falling into their roles, aren't they? ByuN is trying to be aggressive, trying to come out and do something. Now, on paper, I mean, if you're two base powering and the other guy is going to go for a third command center earlier, I mean, that can work. There should be some kind of defensive imbalance there where maybe you can come in there and try to penetrate that position and win.
Yeah, I feel like the window is going to be closing very soon here for ByuN, so he has to get the ball rolling quite quickly. And maybe this 3 medevac drop will be, I say that, we get a shot of Maru's main base with 2 siege tanks in a good position. I think ByuN is still going to go for it, but I wouldn't be surprised, especially with a Raven, if Maru is just able to parry this attack once it comes to the main base with not too much damage. Keep in mind, third command center is done here for Maru. He's building SCVs out of that. He's getting his 1-1 upgrades. No engineering base even on the field, I think, for ByuN. All right, here comes the drop. One of these tanks not even sieged yet.
Yeah, a bit of a misclick there. 13 SCVs are killed, that's big, but when you got 3 CCs, you can remake those pretty fast.
And he's going to have 1-1 very soon.
Yeah.
No upgrades here in ByuN.
And it may be a tale of ByuN kind of investing too much in the next couple minutes when it should have been a little bit further along here, because I think Maru is going to have a lot of recourse. Now,
oh, wow.
That being said, I mean, ByuN still could set up a pin. Anytime Maru tries to leave, maybe ByuN can then dive in. But Maru sends out a drop of his own.
Yeah, and ByuN's also not really playing the air superiority game. He's going for mobility. He's making a lot of medevacs. And oh my goodness, Woodman's going to get a nice hit on these medevacs. So they're already quite damaged coming into the natural expansion. This Raven also max energy here with Maru's army. Siege tank shelling down this position. Oh, the medevacs come back from the drop. Double disable on the siege tanks on the ramp.
Wow.
They are quickly dispatched. The Cyclone goes down as well. And Maru is slowly cleaning this one up. I mean, the supplies, they might be very even, but ByuN had so much invested in this attack. Behind this, I mean, Maru, he might be a little bit behind in workers, but now he's ahead in army, he's ahead in upgrades, and it's kind of like a flashback to game number 1.
He's
got all these advantages, ByuN overextended, and now I think Maru can just push and win.
I think it's going to end exactly like game 1.
Oh no, barely skirting disaster here is ByuN. He has to play perfect from here on out to try and hold this one off.
Yeah, in pursuit is Maru, who's going to get right up over here. I don't see any tanks to defend. There's one coming in now. But yeah, I mean, what are you going to do? You hemorrhage that many units in attacks that Maru survives. This is what happens.
Yeah, Maru, despite playing the more greedy game on his side of the map, able to defend quite well. And then once ByuN overextends, he is not one to miss the chance and push the advantage. Coming now into the natural expansion, ByuN might be able to hold on for a little bit here with these Liberators and the Siege Tank. That is a tough position to breach with the composition that Maru has, but I mean, the tempo has already been lost here for ByuN.
Yeah, Maru's going to try to push it even further. He's going to topple these Liberators. The SCVs are pulled, and they're just cannon fodder here. I think that may be the beginning of the end here, as we're going to see Maru 2-0 ByuN and ultimately go up against Solar in that final match of the evening.
Yeah, really entertaining games, but Maru's defense just immaculate, both in game number 1 and game number 2, and he did it behind enough greed that, you know, once that defense is complete, he's able to turn the game around and just go into killer mode. And ByuN's gonna be the first player eliminated from this group.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, ByuN, look, you know, we see ByuN overheat sometimes. I do think this is kind of the difference between a Maru and a ByuN, right? ByuN is so deadly, but Maru is so composed in these early attacks and sort of knows that balancing act, knows exactly when to engage, when to pull away, when to be patient. And there you go. I mean, ByuN comes at him too hard and dies out. The final match of the evening is going to be Maru versus Solar to see if we're going to get another Terran in the Final Four or our first Zerg. Don't go away.